my good friend Ambrose and his wife Carrie. So why don't you two introduce yourselves really quickly and tell us how long you've been married.
So, my name is Ambrose Quintanilla.
I'm Carrie.
She's Carrie Quintanilla. She can't say the last name.
No.
It's too long. We've been married 20, well not, I was going to say 25, but no. It's longer than that. It is, what is it? What is,
Oh, come on now. Look, this is
27.
no.
It's 27.
When you can't
No, it's
remember.
27 because, no, the reason is because it's 27 years, but this is actually, this year is our 30th year of being together.
Yeah. Correct.
So,
When you can't remember how long you've been married,
No, I
in front of your
remember.
wife,
I
all
remember.
you say is, honey, it feels like you've always been a part of my life.
on our anniversary, 27th, it'll be, you know, she says, thank you for 15 wonderful years.
Yes.
You know. Anyway, I'm also a professional cartoonist. I've been drawing my comic books. Now it's going to be 41 years. I'm old. But anyway, I'm also a retail comic shop owner for the last 6 years. Same with her, but she also works retail.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say about yourself? Oh, and I started doing YouTube.
Are you introducing her for her?
No, I'm asking her if she wants to say anything. She always lets me talk because she knows.
Yeah.
I'm the one who talks.
Yeah.
Then when I leave the room, then she says everything she wants to say. But I also do a YouTube channel, In Your Face Studios. You can watch that too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wasn't into comic books. I do like to read. I do say sorry about my husband as I'm wearing this hat. For people that know him, everybody's like, yes. But yeah, I never got into comics until you took me to a Comic-Con, and I was into X-Files. So
Yeah.
yes, and so I got drug in to comics, and I enjoyed it. I enjoy looking at the art and the creativity. I'm not really into like superhero stuff, but I do read a lot of horror and
Like something's killing the children. But you
Yeah.
do read Wonder Woman.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so that's her only superhero.
That's my only superhero. But yeah, I never read comics before that, and now after he retired from banking, we opened the comic book shop and Living Comics. So,
Yep.
even though you lived it before that, so
Yeah.
anyway.
All right, and next to Ambrose and Carrie, we have our third couple, which is my friend Bob and his wife Janine. Why don't you two quickly introduce yourselves and tell us how long you two have been married?
Sure. I'm Bob Bretal. We have been married 40 years.
Wow.
And I started reading comics when I was 8. And I've been buying comics ever since, every single week, and reading comics. I never went through a period where I stopped reading comics, stopped buying comics. And we're the token ones who are neither creators nor retailers. We're the ones who keep the creators and retailers in business by buying comics and reading comics. And this is my lovely and charming better half, Jenny.
Bob, I feel like you're leaving out the most important part.
Yeah, not the most important
yes,
part, but
okay.
an interesting part.
I have the Guinness World Record for largest comic book collection. Now, I will point out that whenever I say that, someone's like, oh, my uncle's cousin's dentist has a larger comic collection than you.
No, you don't.
Not
It was
officially.
challenging.
I always qualify it as, it's a personal collection. I've read 98% of the comics in the
Wow.
collection.
That is good.
It's 151,873, counting the ones I bought yesterday down on the floor.
Wow.
And the thing with that is that there's a lot of hoops you got to jump through with Guinness. So I'm sure someone else out there has got more comics than I do.
Do you log your books with?
Yeah, I use software called Collectors.
Yeah.
It's a CLZ on my phone.
So even every week you're.
Well, I typically scan them,
Yeah.
like, so when I buy it at a con, like I put them into the app so that I don't buy them again. It's like a problem that we have.
Yeah.
And they have a really nice, just as a free plug for the CLZ guys, they have this cool cover scan feature. So if I'm browsing comics, I can zap the cover and it'll tell me if I have it in my collection or not.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
So your
Kind of
phone,
instantly.
None of us
Your
are
phone
receiving any
doesn't
money
say-
from the app.
No, I just love the app.
your phone doesn't say full?
Huh?
Your phone doesn't say full?
No,
You're
it's-
full, it's done, you'd like
It's
to-
very interesting that I'm
Not
kind
full.
of
His phone says, dude, you have
I am
enough.
a test case for those guys that use me sometimes.
They use you.
But it's very effective, because I mean, I've got 150 some odd thousand comics in there, and it works very fast. It doesn't take a lot of room up on my phone. It's great.
So
Anyway.
Janine, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Janine. I've been married 40 years. We met when both worked in computer. We both have computer science degrees. We met when we were 20, and I worked in computers for a while until we had our first child, and then I was a stay-at-home mom for 20 years. That involved like PTA, volunteering. And now I'm retired, took a kind of an early retirement. As far as comic books go, I don't read comic books. I'm like a novel reader. Bob will give me I've read I love like the slice of life or biography type comics, and I'll read. I like the ones that start and finish in one book. Although the one comic I did read a little bit when we first met was Gru. I do have a special place in my heart because I always like the comic strips, like the
Gru?
Group,
Yes.
Sergio Aragon.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's one of the best comics.
I met Sergio Aragonés. Our first comic con we went to, I was pregnant in 1990 with our first, and Bob said, "Oh, I've always wanted to go to San Diego." And I said, "You know, we should probably go, because once we have kids, we probably won't be able to go." And he's never missed one since then. And he's been to all of them. I've been to a lot of them, but I don't read superhero comics. But the other side of the collection part is, for those lot of the years I was a stay-at-home mom, I alphabetized them, put them in boxes, entered them into not this fancy database you could scan. I literally would type in, look at the grade, grade it in my head, type it in. So part of the reason we did get in the Guinness World Records because I had entered in
She helped a lot.
all his comic books. So
Oh, see, you're robbing me by thunder. I was going to ask you all these questions.
Oh, sorry.
that's all.
Well, let me get started asking some of you guys questions. So I do want to start with Bob and Janine over here. And we got to start with the prerequisite question. How did you meet? So how did you two meet?
Sure, we met at work. I was a programmer, and she was a computer operator back in the days when an operator, you had to put like reel-to-reel tapes, you had to mount them on things and put paper in big impact printers and stuff. So this was like 1982 that this was happening. And we started dating. We were both in college and got married a few years later. Like right after I graduated college. I graduated college, got married, and started a new job. 3 very stressful life events in a course of about 2 weeks.
Oh,
And
wow.
Janine, when the two of you met, Bob told you that he's a big comic book collector, and he had a pretty big, sizable collection even then. And how did you feel about that?
Well, I don't even think I'd really known. No one in my family, I didn't grow up with people that kept a lot of stuff. We were like kind of, we could keep a lot of stuff. So I didn't think that much about it. He was 20 years old. He was cute. I liked him. He had fun friends.
Many years ago.
He had, I kind of, once I met that person, I sort of felt like, oh, these are like my people. I didn't even know they existed, kind of the nerdier people. I didn't really find them until I started at this job. So as far as the collection went, I didn't see the volume. Even that grew up, wasn't huge, it was manageable. In our first apartment, we bought a 2-bedroom apartment we were able to afford, and one was to keep comic books in a closet. So,
Right.
yeah.
And they have moved a few times in the course of their lifetime here, and I can only imagine what it was like having to move all of those boxes in this collection. Bob, what year was it that you got the record from Guinness for largest comic book collection?
So you have this number. What? No, it was earlier than that. Like 2013, something like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like about 12 years.
Right. I was telling people 2012. I could be wrong.
Close, a good
Somewhere
2012,
around,
20,
yeah.
somewhere around.
And since then, has anyone broken your record?
No. There was no record before I said it. There was a record that was in the World Record Academy in Australia, and the guy had like 60,000 comics or something.
Australia.
And I looked at Guinness and I said, what is the World Record Academy? And I had more than that. I mean, I had more than 60,000 comics. So I looked at Guinness. Guinness didn't have a record for world's largest collection. So I contacted them and made the inaugural record, which nobody has bothered to jump through all the hoops to break since then.
So you actually think somebody probably does? Is that what you said? You think somebody does, they just haven't?
Well, like various people. I mean, people always say like Chuck Rosansky, or I mean, there are retailers who also have collections. I mean, Eddie, and you know too, Ambrose, you buy collections from people, and you'll buy 20,000 books or 10,000 books from someone and cherry pick out like a bunch of ones for your own personal collection.
Oh no, I never do that.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing to remember with Bob's collection, when they say he's got the largest comic collection, these are all unique issues. He had to weed
No
out
doubles.
all of the duplicates.
No, what about no variants?
Variant cover technically counts, but I'm not really a variant collector,
Yeah.
so I don't really buy multiple covers, with the exception of I will buy the Alex Ross timeless covers when they come out. But I typically don't have. I mean, I probably have a couple of hundred variant covers of the same thing, but I usually just buy the cover that I like of something.
Yeah.
So, but technically a variant cover is different, but they, like if I had
If
a
it
long
goes
box
in the
full
app
of
as a
X-Men
completely
one,
separate book.
that would be one.
Yeah, if it goes in the app as a completely separate book, then
Yeah.
it's a separate book.
Right.
You've told me about all the work that went into getting that record, and believe me, we don't even have enough time. That's like a whole panel unto itself. What I'm interested in is Janine, you actually helped him to get that record. Tell us about what you actually did for your comic book collector husband to achieve that record.
Well, like I said earlier, basically, well, way back at the very beginning, we upgraded all, put like the nice, because new comic book bags didn't really exist. So I said, well, if you're going to collect all these, you should keep them in good condition. So I'm like, okay, so I rebagged a bunch of comic books. And in the old days, actually, we used to have index cards.
Yes.
That we upgraded. I took the index cards, transferred them to the database. We had a notebook and then the database. So I would do all that entering. I would take the comics in each box and actually sort them all and alphabetize them, which is tricky if you've ever done that, because comics, the title on the top isn't necessarily the title on the inside. If you don't read comics, you don't really know. I don't know that that's probably a very specific thing, but I spent, I did that. I was actually very strong in those days. I could lift the long boxes and move them around, so not anymore. And just for the actually helping for the collection, we had our youngest was in college. We had to have a party. We had a pizza party in our backyard. We talked to the neighbors. This is going to go on. I'll put an advertisement out. So it was years of getting everything organized. And,
2 to 3 years from first contact with Guinness until I got awarded the record. So
And the partner that helps you to actually categorize and inventory your entire collection, that right there, that's a keeper right there.
that's right.
Go ahead. I want to move on to Ambrose and Carrie, and we'll just start really quickly before I jump into my questions for you. Just tell us really quickly, how did you meet?
I saw her walking down the street, and I had my van with some candy. And,
Did she get in the van?
she got in the van because I had Snickers, full-size Snickers. No, she worked with my brother. And she worked with my brother, and she was at the house. They were getting ready to go out somewhere, and I saw her, and then I started hanging out with her brother, who was my brother's friend, and started hanging out with her more. And I just liked being around her more than any of my friends or people I knew. That's pretty much as I talked her into it.
Well, Ambrose, your story and my story actually have a lot of similarities. We both started off as cartoonists who, oddly enough, were making comic strips based on ourselves and our wives. And we eventually both also went into doing comic shop retailing. But the retailing for you didn't come until much later, after the two of you were already together.
Oh, yeah.
But were the two of you together? Well, actually, I'm answering my own question because I just realized my question is really dumb. I was going to say, were you up making your comic strip? Were you two already together? Well, you had to be because it was starring you and her.
No. I drew comics before that. My comic shop's called Digger's Comics and Collectibles. Digger is a gopher that I've been drawing since 1984. It's funny because one of my good friends, they were mentioning Sergio, one of my good friends is Stan Sakai, and I said, we've been both drawing our comic since the same year, but nobody knows mine. He's got a booth and big corporation. But anyway, it wasn't until,
I knew he could draw and he would draw things for me, and I thought that was awesome. I really didn't know a lot about the comic book collection side of it. But I knew he could draw, he's very talented, and...
I didn't start drawing a comic strip about the family until my son was older. It's actually,
it would have been weird if you were drawing a comic strip about your wife and your kid when you were single.
Yeah, it was 2010 when I first drew the comic strip. It was called Me and the Kid. It was just me and my son. And then the mom started coming into the strip more, so I switched it from Me and the Kid. I ended Me and the Kid and did called Life and Times, which is the whole family and the dog and everything.
I love Carrie's rendition, how you drew her in your comic.
Yeah, it was
fun. She got mad when I first, not mad, but she came to me when I first drew her in the comic because I drew her, her favorite color is red, so I drew her in a red shirt and tan pants. And she told me to change that because it looks like she works at Target.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so I gave her jeans. But she still wears capris. I think she's wearing capris right now. It's pretty much what she does. She'll wear headbands a lot. So that's the way I did. It's little things like little turned up nose and all that stuff is all there. You gotta have the blue eyes and everything. Blue ring.
And then, before you owned the shop, you actually worked in a bank for many years.
I worked in a bank for 30 years.
You worked in a bank for many years, and then that kind of came to an end, and you basically went to Carrie and said, hey, I'm going to open up a comic shop.
That's
Carrie, how did you feel about this? Did you think, this guy's crazy?
Yeah.
No, sure, you know it's crazy.
Yeah. I was like,
sure?
Yeah, because there's a lot of comic book shops closing, and the one in town had closed, and I was just concerned about him taking all his retirement and putting it in there, and it was a lot of work. Because
I took all of mine and some of hers.
Yeah, you go, he can go to the bank and work 9 to 5 and, have time off, but when you have a comic book shop, you never have time off. Even if he has days off where our son's covering, he's still at home doing videos for YouTube or ordering, for the cutoff for the customers, and making posts on Instagram and Facebook and making videos and all that kind of stuff. So it never ends.
I will say this. I mean, your shop is a family affair, and your son, he busts his butt in that place.
Well, sort of.
And, well, Carrie, it all worked out because the shop has now been around for how many years now?
It's going to be 6.
Yeah.
The thing is, being around comic book shop, I was around comic book shops since 78. 70 is the first. I didn't know there was such thing as a comic book shop. My grandfather took me in 1978 to get the rest of my Star Wars comic books. And I didn't know there was any such thing. So I've been around them, and I've been friends with people who have them. And I've seen the good and the bad. So I knew what I shouldn't do and what I should do. And then I also have ideas that I think people should have done, so I do them.
Well, we've often said that the best way you can learn how to run a comic shop is to go to the shops that are run poorly and
Yeah.
see all the stuff they're doing wrong and do the opposite.
Yeah.
And also, owning a comic shop is probably the reason why you go gray. One last question for you guys. Carrie, you obviously did it. You opened up the shop. It's been around for 6 years. Do you take an active part in the shop, or do you kind of just sit back and let him do his own thing?
I'd say 50-50. At times I'm involved in the shop, and like I was just there Wednesday through Friday covering the shop because they were here. So I'll cover the shop, and usually when I'm there, I do a lot of work. I do a lot of kind of what Janine does. I do a lot of bagging and boarding, pricing, alphabetizing, trying to get anything from the back out, making bags and boards, and then I do all the financial stuff. So
She does all the books.
I do all the books, all the sales, all the costs, all the P&Ls. I do that, but I usually do that at home. I don't do it.
She was there from Wednesday through Friday.
So Ambrose would be here from Wednesday on. She was running the shop.
Yeah,
She just came today.
She priced like 6 short boxes of books of stuff we took off there. She made 800 bags and boards.
800 bags of
All while helping people, especially on busy Wednesday. And that's so my son could come.
So, Kristen, I'm going to hit you up with some questions now. And just to let you all know, I'm going to hit up my wife with some questions here. Nothing too adult. I don't know if there's kids in the room. But after that, we are going to do something really special, so please don't leave early. This is going to be fun. Kristen, how did you meet your dashing, talented, award-winning husband?
Who? Exactly.
How'd you meet your schlub?
What awards did you win?
I will.
So we actually met on Match.com. This was early 2000s when it was free for women to be on all of those dating sites. And so I said this in my other panel this morning. If it's free, it's for me. So I signed up, and you would not imagine, or maybe you would, all of the crazy messages that I started getting.
I'm sorry.
But he was one that messaged me, and he actually, as a way to kind of impress me, sent me a link to his website and told me, hey, I designed all the art here, I'm a web designer, check this out. And he actually said in the email, this is a shameless attempt for me to impress you. And that was my first indication that he was talented and creative artistically. So yeah, that's how we met.
And did you have any clues back then that comics were going to be such a big part of your life?
No, it was a bait and switch. Obviously, I knew he was artistic, but he never mentioned comics. I'm going to say, we dated for 5 years before we were married. I'm going to say that comics were not mentioned for at least the first 3 years.
Okay, well, the backstory here is that, like Bob, I was collecting and reading comics very young when I was a kid, pretty much all through the 70s and 80s, giving away my age here. But come around the 90s, I just started losing interest in comics. I was in my 20s, I was into motorcycles and girls, and I didn't care about comics. That was kid stuff. And when we started dating and we were kind of serious and together, I just started getting interested in it again. I started remembering how much I loved them when I was young, and I just went back in, all in. So that's what happened. And in that time when we were together, obviously I started writing and drawing my own comic strip based on us. We're the main characters. And early on, though, one of the highlights of my comic strip was when I was contacted by Stan Lee's people, and they said, hey, we'd like to do an interview of you and put it up on Stan's website, and could we also ask you to do one of your comic strips with Stan Lee doing a cameo in it, in the strip, and we'll put that up on his social media when the interview goes live on his website, which, yes, you don't say no to Stan Lee, but you got a lot of backlash.
Yes.
What happened?
So in the comic, it is actually a comic where we are at a convention. I don't remember what Comic-Con it is, but we're at a convention. Stan Lee is signing, and we are in line. Eddie and I are in line to get a comic signed that Eddie has in his nice bag and boarded Mylar probably. And Eddie has
Avengers
to go to
number 4.
Eddie has
Return
to
of
go to
Captain
the bathroom. And he says, "Here, please hold this. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back." And the next panel, Stan Lee comes into the panel with an exuberant "Excelsior!" and grabs the comic from me and signs it and hands it back to me. And I am horrified because this man wrote all over this book that I know my husband is like, oh my God, so like it's his pride and joy. And so I start to try to erase it.
And ruins the book.
And
She has no
always
idea who
ruin
this
the
old
book.
man was that just breezed down the line and grabbed the book.
And the backlash of fanboys who were like literally telling death threats because my character didn't know who Stan Lee was.
But see, I didn't know you at the time. That's, I was just upset.
And rightfully
You
so.
know, I was
I mean,
like-
I wrote a
said,
few myself even. Well,
Well, but additionally
Yeah.
to that story, I didn't know for I don't know how long,
it's
weeks,
about
months.
a week or two. No, it's about 2 weeks.
He
I
was
think.
scared to tell
Yeah,
me.
he didn't tell me.
He didn't tell me. He kept it from me for a really long time. And finally, when I don't know how it came out, if he just decided to tell me or someone else told me or whatever, and I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh, dumb fanboys.
I thought she was going to be horrified, just completely aghast. It's like, oh my God, I have to protect her.
But I think you
she
told
just
her.
laughed.
I think you told her because he didn't want you to get like ambushed at a convention with it. He wanted you to know what was going on.
I don't think.
You know what I mean? That's why
Yeah,
you
but
told
that's
her.
also a complaint you did have early on when I started my comic strip because I would always draw her getting mad at me over something dumb I did.
Yes.
And she would say all the time, can't you ever have something where something nice happens or we're nice to each other? I'm worried that your comic strip is going to take off. I'm going to go to convention and people are going to pelt me with rocks and garbage.
Yes, I was afraid people were going to throw tomatoes at me because I was always the angry woman in
I
the
missed
strip.
with every tomato.
But lo and behold, people started coming up to me at conventions and saying, oh my God, I love Angry Kristen. She's my favorite comic character.
Well, now that we know our couples a little bit more, I want to do something really good. I want to now, it's time to play a game that I like to call, Do You Even Know Me? And if any of you are familiar with the old Newlywed Game, then you know the kind of format we're going to do here. If
But this
you
is
are-
not a ripoff of that.
If you're under 40 and have no idea what I'm talking about, this is basically how the game is going to go. Everyone here on this panel, myself included, have answered 3 questions in private. They're the only ones that know the answer. And the question is going to be asked of their partner, and their partner is going to try to match their answer. So put it down, put it down, put it down, put it down, put it down.
Was
It
it
got
kept in a
ripped in my
mason jar?
backpack. Calm down, calm down. We're going to start with the wives. So I'm going to ask the wives to open up their envelopes and be sure to be careful when you open it up that you're opening it with the answers facing down so nobody can see your
Are we opening
answers.
No, just the women.
Oh, just
Yeah, just,
If you
no,
will,
face down?
yes.
yep, just pull it out and they are already face down.
Yes.
Just pull it out.
Yeah, we are going to ask the questions to the husbands, and they are going to try to match their wives' answers who have answered this question in private. Now, you will notice, 3 wives here, that on the back, there are numbers on the upper corner, and it should be in order 1, 2, and 3 to correspond with the question, so the top one should be number 1. And if they are, then we're good. All right, so let's start.
Hold on.
Yes.
For clarification,
Yes.
when you ask, the men are going to answer, then we show? Our
Yes,
card?
be
Okay.
sure not to
Say
show your
reveal.
answer
Oh,
until
okay.
you're asked to. Give them a
Okay.
chance to try to come up with the answer that they think that you gave. Now, if you get a match,
No, you can't hold it.
yep, they get the bell. If it's not a match, they get the fail button. So I actually want to make this fun. Are there 3 people in the audience that would like to win a prize and have these couples play for them? Anybody raise your hand if they want to win something? All right. This person right in front, what's your name? Chris. What's it? Chris. Chris. Where's my pen? Okay.
I want Chris.
No. Okay, fine. Ambrose, you're playing for Chris. All right. Make a note of this. And who else? The lady right in the white t-shirt. Yes, I'm pointing to you. What's your name?
Teresa.
Teresa. Okay, Teresa, Kristen and I are going to play for you. Okay. And then we need one more person. In the red, what's your name? Brian. Brian, Bob, Janine, you are playing for...
Sorry, just sat in the room.
I know, right?
Okay, Bobby.
And he focuses on what's right in front of him. So,
Hold on, I'm not dumb, I'm slow.
They all get up and leave.
All right. So Ambrose and Carrie, you're playing for Chris. Teresa, Chris and I are playing for you. And Brian, Bob and Janine are playing for you. All right. Let's start our game. I feel like we should have some game show music. Okay, so this question is for the husbands. The first question is, which comic book character best describes your wife's first impression of you on the day that you met? Mr. Fantastic, the Joker, or Sad Sack? We're going to start with Bob and Janine. Hey, no cheating. So, Bob, questions to you.
I gotta go with Mr. Fantastic, and I'll just be sad if it's sad.
All right, Bob says Mr. Fantastic. Janine, show us your answer.
She doesn't remember.
I misunderstood the question. I put Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. She went out. Okay, you went
Hey,
outside
that's
the box,
the same
said Peter
thing
Parker.
number.
It's the
Well,
same as
Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say that, hey, the answers don't need to be accurate, they just need to match. So, unfortunately, not a match. No points for Bob and Janine. All right, next question, I'm going to give it to Ambrose and Carrie. Same question.
Mine, yeah.
Mr. Fantastic, the Joker, or Sad Sack?
Well, I mean, I know it's Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic, but she's going to say the Joker. That's what I think.
Okay,
The Joker. That's
Carrie,
my final
what'd you
answer.
say?
Yeah.
We got a match?
But I just think it should be Mr. Fantastic.
All right, so that's 1 point for Chris. And same question to my wife. What comic book character?
No, it's a question to you.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot how to play my own game. So, question to me: which comic book character best describes my wife's first reaction to me when we met? I'm going to say the Joker because I made her laugh.
Yes, he made me laugh because we were running through fountains that were timed coming up, and I ran across and made it, and he ran across and didn't. He was soaking wet.
I made her laugh. She's laughing at me. You're still laughing. It's a Joker match. All right.
I don't mind when she laughs at me. It's the pointing about it.
All right, next question to the husbands. And I'm going to start again with Bob and Janine. What is the highest, this is a question that your wife answered, so try to match that answer. What is the highest dollar amount you have ever spent on a single comic book? Bob, what did Janine say, and what's your guess?
I'm going to guess that she will know the answer that I give every time I'm interviewed and people ask me that question, which is that I don't talk about how much comics are worth or how much I pay for comics. So hopefully it'll be some form of unknown or he doesn't answer that kind of question.
Janine?
Bob does not discuss price.
All right, you're on the board. All right, same question.
Is this like,
A single issue, not a collection.
Me personally or
Doesn't matter.
professionally.
Doesn't matter.
For my collection. My collection. Okay.
Hey, you're a
I
retailer,
don't
so it
think
doesn't matter.
She doesn't know.
Look, if this
No.
question is going to get you in trouble, say whatever you
No,
want.
no,
Like
no,
I said, it doesn't need to be right. They just
No,
need to
I'm just trying
match.
to think what she'd say. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'll just say $100, but I'm really, I don't really talk about that stuff, because I don't care, but I'd probably say $100.
$100. What's your answer, Carrie?
Most I paid for a comic.
I said 50.
Okay.
Because I think it's
Wow.
50. Okay.
It helps when you're a retailer to get books really cheap.
No, this is my personal, the most money I've
No
ever
match.
spent on my own.
Look, argue after the panel. We don't have the time. No match.
Well, he doesn't like graded books, so.
I don't like graded
don't-
If anyone thinks because I came up with these questions that I have the advantage, I absolutely know for a fact, I don't think she knows at all what the most I've ever spent. So, Kristen, same question. What's the highest dollar amount I've ever spent on a single comic book?
You have to answer.
Right. Why do I not know my own? Okay. I'm thrown off because I'm moderating. I'm the game show host and
Phil,
player.
come up
Okay.
here.
I'm just repeating the question, all right? All right, like I said, I'm not stupid, I'm just
I
slow.
told you you
I'll
should
get
moderate.
it. The highest dollar amount I've ever spent on a single comic book is $2,000. What is it? What?
I
can't
was
see.
close.
Wow.
I knew that
Doesn't
it
count.
was 2,000 something, but I overshot it.
Wait, just real quick, what book was it?
It was Amazing Fantasy 15.
Okay.
When you could buy a copy for $2,000.
So mine, the $100 was in like 1982, and it was Hulk 181.
We don't have time for this. All right, moving on. Next question.
I will say,
For $100
as an interjection, that while I don't discuss specific dollar amounts, I've beat both of these.
I'm sure you did.
I've seen the books in his collection. I guarantee you he's beaten us. All right. Next question, and the final question for the men. And Bob, I'm going to start with you again. So, comic book resources are reporting that you will be introduced into the MCU. What actor did your wife cast to play you?
This is a fantasy question. Okay.
Yes.
That'd be nice. I will say Dennis Quaid.
What's your answer for me?
She, just to defend my answer, she always has said she likened me to Dennis Quaid when I was younger. And now that Dennis Quaid is kind of old and craggy, I've kind of like tracked with that too, so.
All right. Janine, show us your answer. What is it?
What is it? Pee Wee Herman or something?
Ah.
I said Nick Offerman, and I'll take one.
That would be awesome, though. That would be awesome. That's a good pick.
No match. All right.
He has a secret life as like a woodworker, and
Oh,
Bob
yes.
is like a computer guy, and he has a secret, like, excellent as his whole other side of
And
him.
he likes
I
bacon?
have been known to say, bring me all the bacon.
Yes.
I don't really know.
Ambrose, same question. Who did your wife cast to play you in the MCU?
I get a 50-50 shot here. Because I think she would say Kevin Smith. but I would say what she should say would be Jack Black.
Oh, that's kind of.
All right. Carrie, what's your answer? Oh. Wait for it. No match.
He's too skinny now.
All right. I understand the game now. Question to me. Who did my wife cast to play me in the MCU? I'm going to say... It's a 50-50 for me too, but I'm going with Frank Grillo.
Oh, I thought you would have said Hugh Jackman.
That was my other 50.
If the question was, who would I give him a hall pass for, it would have been Nick Grillo, because that's his secret crush. But I actually said Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Oh, that's right.
Because he gets mistaken for him all the
I did
time.
not think about that. There's
He always
been
walks through.
numerous conventions where people come up to me and go, "Aren't you?"
That's right. That's right. You should have got that.
Well, That was the first round. We're gonna now switch off, and the questions are gonna go to the wives. What?
I didn't get a half a point.
No, there's no half a point. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Okay, you got 8 minutes, so.
I know,
go
I
quickly.
know. So keep your answers,
Pulling us out?
yeah. Pull it up and make sure that the answers are facing down so nobody sees. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, and then we are now going to ask the wives the questions. And just as a recap, we ended up, oops, excuse me, no match yet. We ended round 1 with 1 point each. All right. So it's a tie all around. All right. So now we're going to go to the wives, and we're going to keep the same order. So the question is going to go to you, Janine. All right. How many comic books are in your husband's collection? And I feel like this is the only couple that's going to get this answer right.
I know.
Yeah, he just said how many it was, and it's like 150. He just told me, and I knew I was thinking 150, but he had it down to like.
I don't think that's the exact.
All right. So 150,000? Is that what you're going with?
1,000 would be within like 10,000.
And what's your answer?
I was rounding. I don't expect someone to, because it changes daily.
It's funny because I almost said mine when we were talking.
All right, Ambrose, now you. Carrie, how many comic books
First of all, she doesn't
are in your
know.
husband's collection? Now keep in mind, we're talking his collection, not the shop.
No.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna say 25,000.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ambrose,
I don't know.
what was your answer?
I just gave a number.
Oh, I almost said 10,000.
10,000.
I know it's not. I know it's important.
Well, so far Bob and Janine are leading.
I don't even remember answering this question.
You don't remember answering this question? Well,
Oh, that's why, because you never asked
Yeah.
it to me. Okay.
yeah.
Now I'm crazy. I'm gonna just guess 500.
I have more than 500.
Yeah, but in her defense, I will say, because on the side of doing cartooning, I run an eBay store, so I only keep a small amount for myself. I only
Yes.
collect, the only title I collect and keep is Amazing Spider-Man. The rest basically goes into the eBay
And he has a
store.
handful of CDCs. And over the years, yeah.
Okay, so the answer is 700.
Oh, see? I was
You need to pick up the pace. There's more than 700.
And I think you bought a couple of those Spider-Mans from me.
Look, before I started an eBay store,
All right.
kind of keep things, pay the bills, it was a lot more. All right.
He used to own every issue of Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's one interesting fact that we didn't share that I'm going to just say really quickly. He used to own every single issue of Amazing Fantasy, of Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 700, including Amazing Fantasy 15, and he sold the collection to buy the comic shop.
I want the collection back. Anyway, okay, next question. Question number 2. And this one goes to Janine. We're keeping the order. All right. Your husband's comic book collection has spontaneously combusted. Do you, A, cradle and console him, B, jump on eBay and help him rebuild it, or C, pretend you have nothing to do with the mysterious trail of lighter fluid?
I think I would have to console him.
And Bob, what did you say? Console, cradle and console.
He's very nurturing, so I worked together for 40 years.
All right, Carrie, same question. Do you cradle and console, jump on eBay, help rebuild, or hide that lighter fluid?
I'd probably end up jumping on eBay and helping them rebuild it.
Ambrose, what'd you say?
Because that's what she does when I don't have something I want.
Cat. All right. So now, Kristen, my 700 issues of Amazing Spider-Man have combusted. What do? Cradle and console, jump on eBay, help rebuild, or hide that lighter fluid?
Not specifically eBay, but I actually helped him to complete that 1 through 700 collection, so I would help him rebuild.
I forgot what I answered. Up. C. Pretend. She has nothing to do after that mysterious trailer water because you know I did something, right?
Oh yes, I always tell him when he does something wrong that the first thing I'm going for is the comic book.
Yeah, that's what I want.
All right. Last question. It looks like we're going to make it here, panel. We're not going to run out of time. Good. All right. Janine, question number 3. In your marriage, are you, and this is what does your husband say, are you the superhero or the sidekick? What does your husband say?
He would say, probably the
Yes.
superhero.
No. Yeah, the wives. What is it? I'm the superhero.
Again, why I'm married for 40 years.
All right. Now, to Carrie, what is your husband's answer? In your marriage, are you the superhero or are you the sidekick?
I always consider myself the sidekick to him, but I think he would say I was a superhero.
What's your answer?
Superhero.
She's a superhero. Ambrose?
She is a superhero.
But
But a superhero can also be a sidekick. I'm Batman, she's Robin.
Okay, so I'm just gonna answer real fast. Evil villain was not an option, so I'm gonna go with superhero.
my wife says she's a superhero in my marriage.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pander. I'm not pandering.
Well,
I know.
how did the game end? Me and Kristen have 2 points. Ambrose and Carrie have 2 points. Bob and Judy, you have 4 points. You are the winner of Comic-Con's favorite game, Do You Even Know Me? And I
1 point
think,
per
Ambrose,
decade.
you and I need to take our wives out on a date and maybe get to know them a little bit better. I know. So, Chris, well, first of all, I got prizes for all of you.
Oh yeah!
So, Chris, Teresa, Brian, catch me after here, and I've got something for
I
you.
bet you there is
okay?
a comic book.
And wasn't even paying attention, so I'm assuming they give us a signal because it's 10 till, right? We're good?
Yep.
Okay.
And-
Well, I want to thank all of you for ending the Comic-Con Saturday with us, and I hope you had fun. I hope you guys
Hold
had fun.
on, really fast. Where can they find us?
Oh,
after
absolutely. Yes, I don't want to, I meant to do that and I didn't write it down and I almost forgot. All right, so really quick, where you can find all of us. Like I said, I'm a cartoonist. My comic strip is called Collectors, and you can find my comic strip online at collectorscomic.com. That's Collectors Comic, no S at the end of comics, or at the end of comics. Collectorscomic.com, so check it out. And Kristen?
You can find my podcast at comadresycomics.com. You can find us on any major streaming platform as well as on YouTube. And Eddie and I, as we mentioned, are trying to reopen a shop in Santa Monica, and it's Santa Monica Comics Company on Facebook, and we're have an Instagram mishap. We will redo our Instagram, but yes.
Gopheritcomics.com, like the animal Gopher It, or In Your Face Studios on YouTube. Go to the YouTube one because that's when I need viewers. Gopher It Comics has like thousands of followers.
I'm with him.
Bob, anywhere where they
Yeah,
can
I
find you?
have a website, it's called comicspectrum.com. Probably the most interesting thing on there is I've got a Bob's Comic Room. You can see pictures that the Guinness people took and,
Oh, nice.
some other stuff there. And I'm also on Facebook, Comic Spectrum, and I've been at 15 panels so far at this con, and I blogged all of them on Facebook. So that's where you can find me.
Yay!
And OnlyFans, no.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.